For today's video, I decided to make a university housing area. I put it in Windenburg, and I think it has room for 5 students, and then I've also got on a kind of study area, a party room, a load of bathrooms. I made this way too big, I think. I put too many rooms in it for how many people I wanted, and so they've got a lot of space, but that's not a bad thing. It just might cost more, but it's alright, it's fine. We can just say they were like renting it. I think that is kind of the story I have in my head, that, and I know you can't really do that properly in the game, but they're like renting it from someone, and so they can't change everything about the house, so that's why they've got, because I chose a certain wallpaper inside, which I thought maybe this was just already there and they can't change it, but yeah, that was the story I had, so that they're renting it out from someone, and they will have their own room in there. And this is when I started making the floor plan. So I had the kitchen on the right and the kind of living room on the left. I also had a downstairs bedroom and 2 downstairs bathrooms, but everything else I put upstairs, so all the other bedrooms and kind of an office space for one of them, because I think that person who the office space belongs to pays the most for the rent, because they also have the biggest room, which was unintentional, but then I realized it later and I decided, oh, maybe it's like they're like kind of, they are the ones who arranged everything and they're the ones who contribute the most money to the house, but obviously they're all renting it out together. It's just like they're the ones who arranged it all. Anyway, I decided to landscape it before I moved on to the inside. I cut that bit out though because it took me forever, and I don't think you really need to see me just placing trees around and putting everything all in, because it's a bit boring, to be honest. And this video is long enough. Like I really had to cut some things out to get it under 20 minutes, because I spent a while on this build and this video just in general. Anyway, so for the entranceway, I didn't really know what to put in. I put like a desk, bookshelves, some clutter, one of those meditation stool things. I wasn't really sure. I just tried to fill it up as much as possible and kind of make the most of the space. I added a fireplace. There isn't a chimney in this build. I think I meant to go back and add a chimney, but I didn't, because I think I just forgot. But it doesn't matter. You don't need a chimney in this game. It's fine. It's just not necessary. So I don't care about realism. It really doesn't matter. I also made sure that there were enough computers in this house, like one for each sim, because computers are very important in this game, especially for university, because I think you need them to do most of your coursework and everything. I don't think you can do university without an access to a laptop or just a computer in general, because you have to write your term papers and stuff, so it's quite important. And I made sure they all had at least one, because five people in this housing area, and I think I included 5 computers. I might have included 6, because I might have chosen to have 5 laptops and then 1 desktop. I don't really remember. We'll find out. But so far, the laptop counter is at 1, and I guess I'll add to it throughout the video as I spot myself placing them, because I haven't replayed this footage in a while, because I recorded it a very long time ago. Actually, I've kind of been putting off voicing over it because it's so long, and I just know my voice is going to hurt so much after doing this. I'll probably have to take a break, so if there's any awkward cuts in the middle of this video, it's probably because I took a break and I wasn't able to disguise it properly. But who knows, maybe you won't be able to spot it. I have done it in the past and I don't think it's very obvious, so maybe that's a little challenge you can do in every video of mine. You can see if you can guess where I took a break and where I stopped recording and everything, because I did do it in my high school video, the long one, like part 2, not part 1, because that one was quite long, I think. Yeah, I might be wrong. I think it was over 10 minutes, and it's quite exhausting to talk non-stop for 10 minutes. It really hurts. Not hurt, but it tires your voice out. So anyway, this was the kitchen. I made it sunk down. I put in lots of clutter because I think that is my favorite thing to do in these builds. I love doing kitchens and that sort of thing because there is so much good clutter to go in them. I also put a lot of posters around, kind of the ones that came with Strangerville, because when I was building this was when I first installed Strangerville, and so I wanted to get used to using all the items, and I was very excited about it all, so I wanted to use them. And so I had this idea that maybe one of them is quite interested in the Strangerville mystery and all the conspiracy theories surrounding that, which are obviously true, by the way, because if you haven't played Strangerville, but there is something going on that's a bit weird there, other than the name, but there is something strange going on. I also liked how in all the posters, so one of them has the kind of, I think her name is Emily, which is quite funny, but she's based on the Loch Ness Monster, and she's in Windenburg, and these people obviously live in Windenburg. And I thought that was really interesting. There's also a snow globe from City Living, which I put in this build, that has Emily in it. I love that. It's my name, and I'm the Loch Ness Monster, apparently. So I thought that was really cool. And I put that in there somewhere. I think it might have been in this room. But the person who's the most interested in the whole Strangerville mystery, conspiracy theory type thing, the one that sleeps on the bottom floor. So the one that's bedroom comes off of this room that we're doing right now. And they have a whole listening device thing that came with Strangerville in their room, because I think they are very, very interested in finding out what happened. I don't know what they were doing at university, what kind of course they're doing. I might have to look at the options, because I always forget them. I know that one of them is business, I think. I know psychology is one of them. I know that you can do biology. I know that you can do, I think computer science is one of them. I'm not really sure. Literacy, language, that's one of them definitely. And fine arts, I remember that one. I don't really know. I'll have to check. I haven't played with university in a while, which is odd because I love playing with university. It's one of my favourite packs, but I don't know, I haven't played with it in a while. So here is the room. I didn't really know what to do for the walls, because I kind of wanted it to be a darker colour, but then I think I changed my mind and I just stuck with this green, because I just didn't want to change it too much from the main house, because like I said before, I thought that the people who lived here didn't choose what the wallpaper and the colours were, they just had to live with it, and so they would have based who got which room based on just whichever one they liked the most and their own arrangements. So I put the listening device in this room, and I made sure to put lots of kind of little details with the clutter about what kind of person lives here. So they're very interested in, I guess, the paranormal stuff that's in the game. I think I put some of the alien things that you can find in the rocket ship in this room, maybe they found them and they just keep them. Yeah, so I also put frogs and the snow globes, and I also put postcards in the other room whilst I was doing that one, because I just forgot to add them when I put it in originally. But that was their kind of conspiracy theory room. I went back and I added a few more items to kind of all the rooms, because I'm very inconsistent, I guess, if that's the word, about what the order that I do the rooms. I always spot something whilst I'm doing a bathroom, and then I'll go back to the kitchen to add it because I just forgot to find it whilst I was doing the kitchen. And I had to cut those out because it looks very strange when I'm just doing the upstairs bathroom and then all of a sudden I go down to the kitchen and it's kind of sped up. It makes the camera angles look really strange and you can't really see much. So I had to cut those out and just skip them. This bathroom I thought could be kind of more of a plant-based, themed bathroom. That's why it's got kind of the plant bathtub in there. So I just felt like using that because you don't really have many opportunities to use those kinds of items. So I tried to take them whenever I can. Anyway, this is the party room. This is the room I always love to include in my university pack builds because I think it's really fun to do those keg party things where you just invite round everyone and you get those kegs out, because I think they're very interesting and very fun and lots of stuff can happen in them. I usually like to have them on the Friday because that's usually once all the coursework is done with for the time and you can just focus on the parties. It's quite fun because in my head I can just pretend, oh, this is their end of year kind of, not graduation, but end of year celebration party, and it's very fun to do. So I like it for the storytelling and everything. This room, I think I wanted them to be an athlete. Yeah. So the person who lives in this room is an athlete, and they probably take biology at the university, and they're probably also in the football team, because I don't know, I just chose all the things that were kind of sporty. Oh no, that's wrong. This is a different room. Sorry, this is not the athlete one. The athlete one comes later. I'm very sorry that I got them mixed up. This is the knitting person. So this person likes to knit. I can't believe I got them mixed up. That's kind of embarrassing. Wow. But this is the knitting person. And their whole personality is that they love to knit. And that's what their room is based on. Everything in their room is full of knitting supplies. I also gave them a fish tank because I thought that could be interesting. I don't know. But there is a lot of knitted items in the rest of the house, and I thought that maybe this person has made them and just put them in the house because they like to share with their roommates, and I thought that would be quite nice. Maybe they have a Plopsy account where they sell their knitted items, and kind of that's their part-time job, I guess. So instead of actually working, they have a Plopsy account where they just sell their knitted items so that they can afford to go to university. I've also put in some crystals because and the crystal crown from Get Famous, because I thought that could be a bit interesting, that they were interested in that. I don't really know. Anyway, this person, I like doing this room because I've never really done something like it. I thought they could be a kind of a streamer, and they do yoga tutorials, and they teach wellness and everything like that. So I put the yoga mat in there, and I thought that all the yoga stuff in the house could belong to them, because I don't know. And I made their room quite pristine, I guess. It's very clean and just it's nice and calm in there, because I thought that could probably make sense with their hobbies, I guess. I don't really know, but my idea for them is that they do videos on yoga and wellness and meditation and all that. Anyway, this is the room that I was talking about before. It is the athlete's room. So this is the one I was talking about, and they are very interested in sport, and they're probably taking the biology course. I guess they could also be doing physics, because that's kind of to do with athletics. I don't really know. I can't remember what all the courses are and what careers they help with. But they definitely are a part of the football team, which I think is called the soccer team in this game because it's American. So I'm still going to call it a football team, though. And everything in their room is based on sports, because I'm clearly not very creative when it comes to the characters I make, because they all just have one core interest. So the first one was conspiracy theories, the second one was knitting, third one was meditation and wellness, and the fourth one was athletics and fitness and sport. But I think my last person who lives in this whole house is a bit more creative, because it doesn't really exist in the game. I thought that they could be interested in engineering, and so I put a robotics table in the study because I thought that could belong to them. They're maybe the person with the biggest room and the study, because they're the person who set up everything. And my idea for who lives, whose study this belongs to, I thought that maybe they could be doing engineering, and they might specialize in making vehicles and cars, because if you didn't know, cars do not exist in The Sims 4, and I thought it could be interesting if I just made them a car engineer. I don't really know what it's called. But we have a surprisingly large amount of car-related things in this game to not have cars that actually function. Because you can see cars on the street, there are roads, there are loads of mini car statue items, there are loads of tires, which I put in there. It's really strange how frequent they are, and yet we still can't drive cars. I also thought they might play guitar, because I just felt like putting that in there. and I put a guitar in the main landing room, which I always do last because I find that to be the most boring part, and I usually lack motivation to do it. So I do it at the end because I just procrastinate it until the end when I can't do anything else. Anyway, this display case I thought could have all their interesting car and boats and just general vehicles models that are maybe prototypes for their inventions. I don't really know. They make like mini versions before they show off their plans for the big ones because maybe they just don't have funding yet as they're like in university and they're only like training so far. I also put a fabricator, I think that's what it's called, in their room because just I thought that kind of goes with the whole engineering thing. It doesn't really fit in with what the room looks like, but I didn't really have anywhere else to put it, and I thought it just doesn't really matter. So I added it anyway, and it's more of the functional part of the build. Anyway, wow, I'm going really, really far into this build without taking a break so far. So congratulations me. Anyway, this is the landing. I was really unsure about what to do. I just put paintings. I put another fireplace because I honestly had no idea how to fill in the space. I eventually settled on having a Don't Wake the Llama table, which is basically Jenga, in the middle of the kind of flooring area because I didn't know what else to put there, and I thought maybe they could do with an activity that kind of keeps them together, makes them have fun. Obviously only 4 people maximum can play that game, and there are 5 people who live in this house, so I'm sorry to the person who gets left out every single time. But maybe it's a different person. Maybe they do it when one person is busy and the other 4 will just get together. But I feel like that might cause some arguments if you were going to play this household the way I've kind of intended it to be. I don't really know if anyone will want to do that, but that's the story I have in my head for this household. Maybe I'll play it, but that's what I had in my mind when I was making this all. I'm still putting paintings up right here because I still don't have a clear vision on what I want to do. I just kind of put up wall decoration. Anyway, that's when I added the Don't Wake the Llama table because I just spotted it whilst I was looking for things to put in, and I added those chairs from City Living that you can buy in the flea market because I thought maybe I like those chairs. They have very pretty designs. I like the one with the moon on it the most. Anyway, I think this is near the end of the build. I'm just adding the bikes in for all of the students because that's usually interesting. But if you enjoyed the video, it would be amazing if you could like the video and maybe you could subscribe, you could leave a comment, or you could share with friends if you think they might enjoy it. Thank you for watching and goodbye.